A very good evening to the viewers and listeners of Suniye and to my very first welcome guest this time on today, the 6th of December 2021. It is a great pleasure to welcome Mr. Asim Saleem. Bhai Asim Saleem, salams, respects, and peace to you, and a very welcome, uh, uh, let's say, a few words in your illustrious career that I would like to first tell our viewers about. So you may wish to say hello to the viewers of Suniye.
Assalamu alaikum and hi to everybody, and thank you very much, Iqtedar sir, having me here and giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts with you.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's good of you to find time despite the busy schedule you have, and as you know, the both of us work virtually 24 hours a
Mhm.
day. Even when we are sleeping, our brains are virtually working. So in that sense, the 24 hours is not a false sentence. Anyway, welcome to this particular program where we are talking about basically human behavior and technology, and this is a field where you are a specialist, and we are very fortunate to have you as our guest and expert on the subject of human thinking patterns and other things. So let me just give our audience a very short introduction to your illustrious career, which spans over 23 years after your first degree in maths and computer science. So it's wonderful. It's somewhat similar to mine after having done your degree in maths and computer science. You have done, that is, master's. You have done your degree uh, uh, in uh, internet working from UTS, the masters, and then you have done a master's in information security itself. Then you've been a professional. Well, you started your professional career in 1998, just after your first master degree, and then you moved to Australia around 2002. So after that, you have carried on with a lot of multinational companies as well as smaller companies. You have your own company about uh, allowing people to apply for jobs, and uh, you manage them and professionally coach them. And you've worked with big firms such as IBM and so on. The list goes on. I could take half an hour to just talk about what you have done so far and what you are up to. But what we are concentrating more on in this particular session is your approach to the what is called uh, n- uh, uh, Neuro-Linear Programming, NLP, where you've done a large degree, and you have uh, also led the community, and you are as well a mentor to a number of companies, and you are uh, uh, coach at a couple of universities here, TAFE, New South Wales, and and other uh, postgraduate institutions. So I think that gives a reasonable flavor to our viewers. And so I once again thank you for joining. And in this particular session, we will first want to have you describe the need for, if you like, self exploration, which is the current topic that you've taken up as part of your neuro-linear programming masterhood or mastership that you may wish to elaborate upon. So first of all, why the need for the self exploration? Please elaborate.
Okay, yes, okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for the detailed introduction.
You're welcome.
So yes, so you basically this is the topic is more self-reflection, how people behave and how they actually analyze their behavior opposed to the any event of that. I give you like the definition, which is one of the professor Dr. Gail Browning. He said reflection is a deeper form of learning that allow us to retain every aspect of any experience, but it can be personal or professional.
Wonderful.
Why something took place, with the impact, and whether it should happen again, as opposed to just remembering that it happened. It's about tapping into every aspect of the experience. So you're clarifying or thinking on honing in on what really mattered to us. So I mean, going back to the NLP, as you mentioned, okay, the human behavior patterns and thinking, they are actually very deep. Okay, so when we are dealing with anybody, we are seeing people as we just see it, and they are in front of us. So we cannot dive into them to understand how they're coming from. So it's basically people, they are ruled by their behavior, memories, thought, and then what their motivations and desires are in their life, and how they are raised in the society. So societal term is very common when people they grow up, and also the environment they grow in. So this way, sometime, I mean, not sometime, most of the time, when people uh, they there are three stages of a learning in any human development life cycle. Okay, so there are first age from age 0, when they are born, to the age 7, when actually they take everything what their parents do, and they just copy and mirror it, because they don't have the unconscious mind set up at that time. So they are unconsciously learning new aspect.
Right.
And the second thing comes up from age 8 to 13. When people they are aged 8 to 13, so they basically start exploring things from their parents and their environment. So they actually start absorbing it. Okay, so they are mixing and they're bringing their unconscious behavior, unconscious brain. They actually start building those behavior and adding those experience. So third age is the age where this is called socialization age, which basically start 14 and go up to 21 and 22 years of age.
Right.
So this is the area when people they actually learn by themselves, by going out in the world. So during this development phase, people they are they learn a lot of different patterns from different people. But because they don't have a lot of learning at that point in time, so they don't understand what is right or what is wrong. Okay, so because they cannot tally different, they cannot tally that different thing in their brain. So this is the same thing, like in the hard drive, if you have stored something, or you are trying to find something which is not stored there, so this say like not found. So similarly thing it happened with the human mindset.
Oh, wonderful. I see.
Okay, so is it, so basically how self-reflection comes up, because like when we are dealing with people, we sometimes are ruled by the emotions.
Okay.
Okay, because people they are not good or bad. People are run by their emotional states.
Right.
Okay, so if they are happy, so their emotional state, and they come out, and they will be happy, and they will be spreading happiness everywhere. So when people they are sad or tired, or maybe not comfortable because of some event happen, they
Mm-hmm.
will come and they will be very much upset, and they create a very different atmosphere and
Mm-hmm.
make a lot of people uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so basically this is not the person who
Mm-hmm.
is internally bad, it is how he has affected by the environment.
I see.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so this is one of the key area where
Mm-hmm.
which actually introduced this self reflection or self awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Self reflection basically is a process, like as I mentioned, it's a process of diving deep into your unconscious mind, because unconscious mind, it store all of your memories, all of the
Mm-hmm.
events which has happened in your lifetime. It
Mm-hmm.
is, as I mentioned, it's just like a hard drive. It
Right.
stores everything,
Right.
everything. So whenever you have to make your conscious decision, you actually go back and check with the unconscious mind if there is a memory sitting there, and
Mm-hmm.
then you make your decision based of that.
Mm-hmm.
But what information which you don't tally
Mm-hmm.
sometime, that you have a memory,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't know the reason behind that memory,
Mm.
because people, they only remember the results or outcomes.
Right.
Sometimes they don't picture the whole scenario in their mind, that why they have this outcome.
Mm.
So when I have to decide something, I go back to my memory, and my memory say, yes, it is something which happened 10 years ago.
Mm.
Okay, so
Mm.
it's mean irrationally I'm going out, and I'm going to change my behavior accordingly.
Mm.
Okay, so I am not using a rationalization.
Mm.
So when the self reflection comes up when you deal with something, and you are discuss something with somebody, and then you realize, like, you probably, or maybe you realize it, or somebody pointed you that you were wrong at this point, or you did not say the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go back and you do self reflection, so you bring all those thoughts and emotion which happen at point in time.
I
You
see.
do like a dive into that,
Mm-hmm.
and then you start evaluating it,
Mm-hmm.
and run your series of questions and find out, like, what actually has happened. So this
Mm.
is how self-reflection works.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. So, you have recently been communicating, or of course, you've been communicating for probably soon after your degree, first degree, um, to everybody. But lately, you have taken up the specialization of self-reflection, and you have given us a number of things that that one can, or number of questions basically, as I have read your article, and you are asking people to ponder over those questions and make up their own mind, and from there decide which course of action to follow.
Mhm.
So the very first one, I'll take the easy one out, and then leave you with the rest. And I would appreciate if you have any material to show with it in terms of slides or whatever. Um,
Okay.
so the first question you have really asked as part of self-reflection is that we should really ask, "Who am I?" Now,
Okay.
I'll quickly discuss that with you, and then let you take over from there with respect to each question, because this is something that I can talk about. Then beyond that, it's all your territory. So I could say that I have various partitions in my mind. I am a husband. I am a brother. I am a professional IT person. I'm a professional podcaster. I also dabble in poetry and literature of various languages. So it depends on the context one talks about. It is who I am, because uh, people know me differently based on their sphere of interaction with me. So how does your advice about who am I, um, uh, elaborates itself.
Okay. So This question actually, it's not a very simple question. It's a very
Exactly.
in-depth. It's a very in-depth question.
Right.
Okay, and I think when you are doing the self-reflection thing, you need to understand actually your personality traits. Okay, in NLP we have studied one term, which actually I put in my mind, and I'm still working on it.
Mm-hmm.
We basically thinks our professional life and our personal life are two different entities when we go on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we try to keep them separate. But in psychology, when I started doing my research, I'm still doing a research, like I'm very new to that one, just like only 2.5 years now since I have completed this one. So what I found out that NLP says the way you do one thing, the way you do everything. Okay, so if in my personal life I am very happy, okay, so and if I go to the office at work and I start getting upset for some reason, then there is a conflict. Okay, and human mind, it cannot work if it is confused.
Right.
It cannot get the desired result. The human mind need to focus. I tell you before I go into the who am I question. Human mind receives 13 million bit per second, and it only process 143 bits out of that.
No boy.
Okay, because human mind has a different filters which is sitting inside their mind. So it basically include your memories, your past experiences, and they have I think around 11 or 13 unconscious filters. Then you have a rule of generalization, you have a rule of deletion, you have a rule of distortion. So basically, but it happened instantly. Okay, so when we say this question, who am I? So it basically, it need to understand from you, from inside, what your core values are. Okay, because if you have never thought about it, if I have never thought about something, that who am I have never done like a self-reflection. I give you the example. When I was in my university time, nobody has told me what I need to do, because at that time there was no concept of mentorship or coaching. There was only, study coaching were available just to pass your exam. That's it. Nothing
Yes.
else. So
Little
nobody has,
booklets and things.
little booklet, and that's it. And you will pass the exam, and you will get into college, and you go into the medicine, engineering, whatever you want to go. But there was no topic where was a self-discovery topic. So nobody knew, like even I didn't know like where I wanted to go. When I started reading the books, and I stepped into I did my first master degree was MSc in mathematics. So I thought I will become a mathematician, because my math was very good, my physics was very good. I was very dull in chemistry and biology at that time.
Join the club.
So I thought at that time that, like, biology and chemistry, these are not my areas.
Exactly.
Okay, and because nobody told me that, like, what actually I can or cannot do. When I started studying the computers, I started understand, like, that I am something very technical. My uncle, he offered me that if you get admission in one of the most prestigious university in Pakistan, in Lahore, it's called LAMS, Lahore University of Management Sciences. They said, if you clear the exam, I will get you to the MBA, and I will pay you the whole fees. And that time in 1997, the course fees was around 250,000 rupees for the whole. Okay, in 97. And he said, I will pay everything, you just go and pass the exam. And then I started, analyzing based what experience I had, that I'm not a management person. I'm a technical person, because I am very good with the figures.
Yeah.
You got it? And I was also good in mathematics, so I thought I was good in the programming. But when I started programming, I understood, like, that internally I'm the person who like to go out and sit with people. I want to sit at the back and do programming. So I
Exactly.
cut down that one. So I did like 1 or 2 years for programming. Then I found out like, this is not right for me. And then I started understanding like, the technical concept. I become a very technical guru. I knew things in and out. In 2007 or 8, when I started I was in between my degrees. Then I started understand like, I'm not a technical person. I'm actually a management person, and I'm in the wrong area. And then I spent another 3 years in the technical space, aiming for the management. And finally, I hit management in 2013. And from 2013 to 2021, what I have found that my core values or core skill set was managing people. It was
Wonderful.
not managing technology. But it took me 21 years to understand who am I. Okay. So who am I? It's a very in-depth analysis of yourself, because nobody knows you or myself better than I know myself. You know yourself, because you know your circumstances, you know your potentials, but maybe you have not done self-reflection on those things, that what you cannot do.
Right.
I mean, I will share the slide once we have this question, so it will actually give you the holistic
Oh,
approach. What I'm saying now,
thank you in
if I
advance.
share it, yeah, if I share it now, doesn't make any sense. It will not make a sense. So you need to understand every human being have a core value system inside them. They have a priority list. But what happened? They are confused what I need to do, and they start doing a multitasking on a lot of things, because they think I can do this, I can do this. Because I did it in my career. Initially, I started doing this, and end up doing nothing. You got it? Because my mind was confused where I want to go. And I was, I was moving across 1 to 2, 1 to second, second to third, third to fourth, and was not ending up anywhere. So you need a clear mindset. It's called tunnel focus. So when you need to understand yourself, you need to be very clear about yourself. You need to be very honest who you are. Okay, what your core strengths are, what actually you're looking to do in your life. It's not a very quick answer will come in your mind. It might take a couple of months. Okay, because once you do like a plotting in your mind, it will take time to gather the data which tally your mindset, and then you can make a decision. So who am I? It has a various aspect of seeing. It can be from professional, it can be from personal, but it should match your personality type. You should not create any conflict on that one. If you see, I want to do this, something which my personality traits are not there, then you need to build it. When you need to build it, then you need a time. And when people say I'm getting old, I can't do it, this is very, very, very rough concept. In my recent coaching program, I had a very good instructor. We spent 6 days there. So he was telling me that like there was a research which happened in US about people learning and capabilities, mindset and pattern. And they said they have done like analysis on people age. And they found out at the age of 80, per people, they still have a 5 to 8% of the brain available to learn new things.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And in human nervous system, there are 300 billion neurons, which make a path of 1,000 trillion pathways. So transitioning from one pathway to another pathway is very difficult. Okay, it needs consistency, time, focus, and you can go and you do it. I watched actually Bruce Lee a series recently, and I was actually inspired how he wanted to learn something new which was not there. So what he was doing, he was putting himself into the deep end,
Mm.
and then he was learning from it. He was going to somebody and said, I don't know their fighting style, and he was just going there, getting hit, and then he was learning that style. And this way he learned, I think, 7 or 8 different styles, and he became the king kung fu
Yes.
master. Yeah.
Right.